Hi my friends, welcome to our channel English with Alexander. And really, it's a great video. You see all modal verbs in English grammar with examples, levels from beginner to advanced. That's fantastic. And you see it's a full course. It's wonderful. Okay, so many modal verbs, and I'm sure you need to know how to use them correctly. For example, would have, or will be able, and so on. Okay, are you ready to start? Thank you. Okay, you can put a like if you really like this video. Thank you, my friends. Okay, let's start with can. Okay, so really, first, let's talk about can. It's very easy. Really, it's very easy. So can means that it's possible for us. For example, you can say, I can speak English, but I can't speak Chinese. Okay, I can't speak Chinese. And my friends, I have a test for you, a short test for you. I think it's okay. Good? So you see, with examples and also exercises. So this video is full of examples and exercises. Okay? Which one is correct? I can find it, or I can to find it. I can to find it. Okay? So, which one is correct? This one. I can find it. I can find it. Okay, my friends, let me correct something. Okay, you need to remember that we use must, can, may, might, should plus verb without to. Without to, okay? No to, no to. So can plus verb. Okay, but there is one exception or exceptions. I think you like exceptions. Ought to, okay? Ought to and have to or has to. Okay? We use them with to. Ought to means should. Okay? We are going to talk about it soon. Okay, just remember that we use these modal verbs without to. Okay, my friends, more practice and more exercises for you. Okay, which sentence is correct? Okay, you have some time. Please choose the right sentence. We say, she can go there. Yeah, can plus go, it's okay. She cans, no, never, never. So I can, she can, he can, no. We don't change it with these modal verbs. No, we don't change it. And she can goes there. No, of course not. Okay, next. Let's talk about could. It's a little bit more difficult. Okay, first of all, you need to know that we use could in two main situations, present and past. Really, we use could when we talk about the present. For example, you could help me now. It means that it's possible for you to do it. You could help me now. or you could find a better job. So it means that it's possible for you to find a better job. And you see, it's more polite than you can find a better job. So in these situations, you can say you can help me now, or you could help me now. You can find a better job, or you could find a better job. The difference is that could means, it sounds more polite. So sometimes we prefer to use could for this reason. We often use could in questions. For example, could you tell me? Could you tell me how to get to this place? How to get to this place? Okay. You can ask, can you tell me how to get to this place? But if you use could you, it's more polite. And if you use please in the end or at the end of the sentence, you'll be very polite. Listen. Could you tell me how to get to this place, please? And my friends, don't forget to smile. Okay, you know that we mostly use could when we talk about the past. And there are two situations, again, so real, so when it really happened. Look, I could learn English for hours. I had so much time. You see, it was possible for me and I did it. Really, so I wanted to improve my English, and so I wanted to have a good level in English, and I could learn English for hours. I had so much time, I had enough time for it, and I did it. Okay, so could learn. So can, we use can for present. You see? Can for present and could for past. Good. But my friend, there is one more situation. So you see that we sometimes use could so for some situations which were unreal, and you need to use another structure. Look, could have plus the third form of the verb. V means verb and free means the third form, unreal. So you see, could have for unreal situations. Okay, please look. You could have learned English more intensively. You see, could have plus the third form. You could have learned English more intensively. Good, very good. So, could have learned English is the third form. It means that I know that you didn't learn English intensely. Yeah, we know he didn't learn it intensely enough. So it's like a recommendation. It's like some kind of advice. You could have learned English more intensively. And if you use this structure, or if I use this structure, it means that it didn't happen. It didn't happen in reality. And so, okay, it's my recommendation. But it didn't happen. Okay, I think that you need more examples. Okay, look. Look at this situation. He failed his exam. And then you need to choose the correct sentence. Look. He could prepare for it better, or he could have prepared for it better. Okay, so he failed his exam, and I have a question for you. So, did he prepare enough? Did he prepare enough? No. Did he prepare enough? No. So he didn't prepare enough. So we know that it didn't happen, and it didn't happen, you see, and we use this structure for unreal. Could have. Could have. He could have prepared for it better. So we can say it because we know that it didn't happen. Okay, one more example. Let's look at the second situation, or let's look at this situation, okay? Good. So, you see, I found this channel last month. It's so useful. Okay, really, if you look at this channel, so, for example, you can say, I found this channel last month, it's so useful. And you want to say, I could have found it much earlier, or I could find it much earlier. Okay, and I have the same question. So, did you find this channel earlier? Did you find this channel earlier than last month? No. So we see I found the channel last month, so it isn't possible. And if it isn't possible, so I could have found it much earlier. It means that it's a good idea, or it was a good idea for me to find it much earlier, but I didn't do it. And if you look at this situation, it's the same thing. Okay? It was a good idea for him. Okay, it was a good idea for it was a good idea for him to prepare better, but it didn't happen. He didn't do it. Okay? And we use this structure. Okay? I could have found this channel much earlier. Good, great. And if you write this sentence or this phrase, yeah, it will be great. Good. Okay, next. Okay, you know that we can use can when we talk about the present. Could for present and past, could have for past. Okay, but let's understand what we use when we talk about the future. Okay, my friends, please remember, can, we use can for present, Students often ask me, can we use it for future? Okay, I'll answer this question just maybe in 2 minutes. Okay, but just let's have a look at these things first. Okay, can for present, could for past, and for future we use will be able for future. Will be able, remember it. So if you're talking about now, I can do it now. I can do it now, so it's possible for me to do it. Okay? If you're talking about yesterday, I could do it yesterday. Good. I could do it yesterday. Yeah, it was possible for me. Good. And when we talk about the future, we use this structure. Remember, will be able. I will be able to do it tomorrow. Or we can use its short form I'll be able to do it tomorrow. Okay, really, it's a very useful expression. Okay, let's get back to your question. I can do it tomorrow. Can I say it? Yes. So sometimes we can use can when we talk about the future. But if you say, I can do it tomorrow, it means that there is no guarantee. So maybe I'll do it, maybe I will not do it, or I won't do it, we don't know. So it's possible, but no guarantee. If you say, I'll be able to do it tomorrow, it means that I'm sure. I'll be able, I'm sure. Okay? So if you're sure, so you use I'll be able to do it tomorrow. Okay, I'll give you one more great example, okay? You can say, I'll be able to learn English. And if you say, I'll be able to learn English, or I'll be able to speak English correctly and fluently, yeah, that's great. It means that I see that you are sure. Okay, very good, my friends, very good. Okay, let's continue. Okay, more practice for you. I think you don't mind. So, you don't mind means I think it's okay for you. So, which one is correct? Please, think about it. I will able to solve this problem. I will be able solve this problem. I will be able solving this problem. Or I will be able to solve this problem. Okay. So before you choose, I can tell you the structure. So again, will be able to do something. Will be able to do something. So you see, will be able to, we need to. Maybe this, maybe this. Be, we also need be. So I will be. So this one, I will be able to solve this problem. I will be able to solve this problem. Good. Okay, you know, students often ask me, okay, so we can, use could, will be able, but what about be able? Can we talk about it can we use it when we talk about the past? Yes, it's possible. Look, sometimes it's possible. You see, we sometimes use was or were able to talk about the past instead of could. Look, I was able to earn this money, to earn or to get this money, or I could earn this money. What's the difference? Really, it's a good question. And so we mostly hear that we use was, were able for a single action. So it happened once. So I was able to earn this money. It means that it happened once or one time. And I could earn this money. It means that it was possible and I could do it quite regularly. Okay, but anyway, we mostly meet could. Okay, we sometimes meet was able. You just need to know that it means could, but we don't use it so often. Okay, let's talk about the next modal verbs. So must have, Okay, and some others. Good. Must and have to. Okay, if you really want something, say must. Okay, I must speak English better. You really want it. I must improve my English. Okay? We use have to in this context too, but you know that we use have to when it isn't, I use it when it isn't my wish, when I have no choice. Look, I have to get up early. I have to wear a uniform. Okay, I don't like it. Maybe I don't like it. I don't like getting up early. I don't like wearing a uniform, but I have no choice, so I need to go to work. So I need to work. I have no choice. And if you have no choice, you say have to, okay? I have to get up early. I have, you see, I have to wear a uniform. Okay, so you see that we talked about can for present, past and future. Let's do the same with must for past, present and future. I think it's a good idea. So you see that we use. So if you look at the present time, have to or must, you can say I have to be there on time, or I must be there on time. Good. If we are talking about the past, so must or have to, only had to. I had to be there on time. And we use will have to for future. I will have to be there on time. Okay, a short test for you. I must be there yesterday, or I had to be there yesterday. Okay, which one will you choose? So we use had to when we talk about the past. Had to. I had to be there yesterday. Good. And we'll have to. So you see that we use, if we look at can, we use will be able to. And if we look at must, okay, we use them. So you see that we use will have to, talking about the future. Good. Next, should or ought to. So when we give some advice, we use should or ought to. So should without to and ought with to. But you know, ought to is very formal. Not formal, but very formal. Okay, look. You should learn English more regularly. So it means it's a good idea for you to learn English more regularly. You should practice sport. It means it's a good idea for you to practice sport. Okay? Or you can use ought with to. You ought to take these measures if you want to succeed, or if you want to be successful. You see, ought to it's more formal. Okay, and you know, if we are talking about the past, so you can use must, could, may, might, would, plus the third form. Plus the third form. Okay, plus the third form. You remember, I could have found this channel much earlier. I could have found this channel much earlier. I could have found this channel much earlier. Or have, yes, plus have, would have, thank you, plus the third form. You see. Or I can say he must have made a mistake. You see, it doesn't matter he, she, it, we always use have. He must have made a mistake. It means that I really think, I'm almost sure, almost sure that he made a mistake. He must have made a mistake. Okay? He must have made a mistake, but I'm almost sure it's another meaning. Okay, should and ought to, the same thing. Should have plus the third form. I should have found this channel much earlier. It means that it was a good idea for me to do it. Or I can tell you, you should have gone there. It means that it was a good idea for you to go there. Or let's look at the next sentence. They ought to have sold more. You see? It means that they didn't sell enough. It's like should, but more formal. Good. What about would? We use it in this structure. I'd like, or I would like, to drink a cup of tea. It means I want, but it's more polite. I would like to drink a cup of tea. Okay, we can say I would do it. So would plus verb. It means it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I can tell you, I would study English more regularly. Or I would learn English online. I would learn English more regularly. And you know that we often use would with conditionals. With the second conditional. So if I were you, I would do it. It also means it's a good idea. I would do it if I were you. So you remember, I hope you remember that we use were with I, he, she, it in conditionals. We mostly use were. And in the third conditional, so would have plus the third form. If you had followed my advice, you would have earned more money. So would plus verb. We see it in the second conditional. And if we look at the third conditional, would have plus the third form. The third form of the verb. Plus the third form. Okay? If you had followed my advice, you would have earned more money. But it means that these situations are unreal. It means that I'm not you, and so you didn't follow my advice. Okay, need. Okay, sometimes people say that it's a modal verb, but it's mostly an ordinary verb. So you see, you need to be more careful. You need to be, or you must be more careful. I need to study harder. Okay, we use don't need or needn't, or doesn't need for he, she, it. I can say you don't need to worry, it's okay. So don't or doesn't plus need, or you needn't worry. It's also okay. You don't need to worry or you needn't worry. So when we talk about the past, I can say didn't need or needn't have. You didn't need to come there yesterday, or you didn't have come there yesterday. But if I say you didn't have come, it means that I know that you didn't, I know that you came, and it was unnecessary. I know that you came and it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary, or it was unnecessary. Unnecessary. So that's the difference. So you can meet either so didn't need or didn't have. It's okay. Okay, next. Okay, you also need to know some structures, like, be allowed and be forced. Okay, we also see it here. So forced and allowed. So it's also about modal verbs or structures, modal verbs structures. So be allowed. Look, we say to be allowed to do something. To be allowed to do something. Allowed. Double add. Sorry. Okay, to be allowed to do something. He isn't allowed to leave home, or he isn't allowed to go out. It means that he can't leave home, so because of someone, or he wasn't allowed to play computer games. So okay, maybe his parents told him no, so you can't play computer games. Okay, next, be forced. So we say be forced to do something. They were forced to agree. It means that they agreed. They agreed, but it wasn't their wish. But it wasn't their wish. It means that okay, they didn't like that idea, but they agreed. So they had no choice. So you can say I was forced to do it. I was forced to do it. I did it, but it wasn't my wish. Okay, sometimes, they say that shall, will, and dare are also modal verbs. Shall, we use it with I and we for permission. Shall I call her? So it means that it's like may. You know that sometimes we use may for permission too. May I come in? May I come in? But it's very, very formal. Or shall, it means is it okay if I call her? Will, I think it will rain tomorrow. But for me, will is an ordinary verb, so it's really a little bit strange when people say that it's a modal verb. But sometimes we see that they say shall and will are modal verbs. We mostly use will in modern English. And dare, we sometimes use it. I mean that this verb isn't so common, but we often see it in negative sentences. And it's an ordinary verb. They didn't dare to complain. It means that they didn't want to complain, or maybe they wanted, but they were not ready to do it. And we sometimes use it as a modal verb without to. Sometimes use it, and you just need to know this phrase, I dare say. It means that maybe I'm a little afraid, but I can say it. I dare say we need to go there. Just remember this phrase, okay, dare say. Okay, I dare say we need to go there. So I dare say and then you continue this idea. So I really think like this one. Okay, my friends, so I really tried to do my best to record this extremely useful video course, especially for you. So you can put your likes and you can also share it with your friends. And so I think that it was a good idea to create this channel English with Alexander, but I think I could have done it much earlier, or I should have done it much earlier. What about you? What do you think about all this? Thank you, my friends, and I wish you good luck. Bye bye.